Hey, and welcome to the Kubeflow community meeting for the 1st of November at 8 a.m. London time. The time slot is currently this. We'll see. Well, I guess we'll talk about it in the meeting as to what times are best for Europe and everything. Obviously, we had the Kubeflow summit recently, and so we've got a few new people from there. They can introduce themselves later if they want. We've obviously got 1.7 that is actively being worked on, and we can do a quick review of that, but I think a lot of it's going to happen in the new year. We obviously have the biggest news of all, which is that Google is donating Kubeflow to the CNCF. And then we have the review thing we just talked about. We have the Kubeflow Summit has recordings, and I've got a few other issues here. And we had one issue that we might as well talk about first because we just talked about it before the meeting, which is about this pedal operator adoption. So do you want to just quickly talk about what we just said, the person who was saying this?
Actually, we just provide a standard alone operator to participate in the Kubeflow community. Yeah, just before that. And the Kubeflow community just unified all the operators together. So we will support it under the unified one.
Cool. And so will the existing repo be archived, I guess, once this is in? Is there an existing repo, or is it just a new thing that you're adding?
The new thing.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
Actually, the existing repo will work together, and maybe will not maintain it anymore in the future.
Mm-hmm. So is there, I mean, yeah, that doesn't really, I mean, it doesn't matter. That's your choice, I guess, but I'm just trying to understand. So is the official place for this operator going to be in Kubeflow?
I think so.
Cool. Awesome. So that's just happening. And I guess that's been going on for a long time. And now it looks like it might be done soon. If you need anything, it looks like you've already got people approving stuff. If you run into problems, I guess, ask again, maybe in the Slack somewhere. Okay. Anyone got anything they want to say about that? Who's here? Cool. If you're not comfortable talking, just message in the chat. I will see it. Okay, so the 1.7 timeline, I don't know if these are completely up to date right now, but theoretically, the roadmaps are meant to be finalized. I'm not entirely sure that that is the case. It was meant to have been done a couple of weeks ago. I think the summit might have gotten in the way of that. Technically, the feature freeze is meant to be on January 25th, which is obviously next year in a couple months. So we've obviously got this holidays for most people, so that will be difficult. But if you have features, whether or not you're actually a lead of a working group, please in this call, and if you've got things you want to contribute or just suggestions of things that you think are really important, please reach out to the working groups. And if you don't know what the working groups are, you can find it by going to the Kubeflow website and going to About, and then Community. And then going to the working groups. And these are the owners of the various pieces. And if you click the link of the working group, you'll see who owns the working group. And you can find the people's GitHub tags here. Yes, and that's how you can help if you want. Or you can just make a pull request and hope that someone will review it. But that may not be the best idea. If you want to reach out directly to people, Slack is usually the best way. So I guess we can just take a quick look at this tracking board, see if there's anything interesting on here. There is not. And we'll take a quick look at the release team meeting notes just in case, because we don't have, oh, that is actually the meeting. I did not mean to join that. It's not a note. Okay, well, I'm going to put question marks on that. So cool. So the one thing to discuss is that next week at a different time slot, which may not be accessible to people in this meeting, there will be a Q&A by Google about the CNCF donation. But if you have questions and you can't attend, you can either reply to the, I don't recommend replying to the CNCF one, but if I go on the Kubeflow discuss, we can, let me just grab that link there. So if you can't attend, you can definitely ask questions. I'm just getting that link. Give me a second. CNCF, okay. This one right here. Second to load. Okay, here we go. This one right here. So yeah, if you want to, you can. Oh, if you haven't got access to this doc, you can. The doc, I will paste it in the chat, but it is in the calendar invite as well for this meeting. Cool. Anyone want to say anything or comment about what they want the new world to look like under the CNCF adoption? Or just, be happy about the fact that that's happening.
What do you think are the biggest changes coming for the community, especially for the ones that want to be involved?
Well, again, we don't know exactly what the donation will look like. Obviously, from a legal perspective, the most important thing that we care about as a community is that the assets are transferred from Google to the CNCF, and therefore they will be owning the word Kubeflow. They'll own the website, they'll own the GitHub repos, they'll own the org. And what that will mean is, A, we'll get the protection of the CNCF. Obviously, that's like part of the point of it. It's like a legal system that they'll fight for us. But the main thing is that it will establish however we choose to do it. And this is the part that this is where we need to have discussions as a community, because the CNCF, as far as I'm aware, is not going to inflict any specific structure upon us. But we do want, I've always said, and I've raised many issues over the years around neutral governance bodies. So I want people's the amount of influence people have in the community at like a leadership level should be proportionate to the amount of contribution, either in terms of money or in terms of actual time that they're putting into the community. But also have a space for people who've, like, not just companies and big orgs, but individuals as well. That's my thoughts. But again, we don't know what it's going to look like. If you have questions, you will have to bring them to the next meeting, or message them in that discuss thread, like I said, or you could respond to the issue. So this issue includes the CNCF leadership. So this is actually done by the CNCF guy, I think, maybe. Actually, I don't know if that.
All right.
No, this is Google. Sorry, this is Google guy. But there is a Google guys and CNCF guys in here you can tag. But people have been using this thread for things that it's not meant to be, like saying, can we add this feature to Kubeflow? So please don't do that. Do that elsewhere. Okay, the one last thing. Anyone want to say anything about CNCF before we quickly move on? We can get the meeting done quickly then. I will move that to the end of this. If not, awesome. So the summit recordings are here. If you were at the Kubeflow summit, or you weren't wanted to be and you wanted to review something, the most of the videos have been posted, I think, if not all of them. And I've linked it here. I think last week they said specific. Yes, I think day 2 probably has been posted. So yeah, that's useful. If you want to watch those or share them with people, please do that. Anyone want to say anything about the summit or give any feedback? If not, if you have any feedback and you want to give it anonymously, or you want to just do other things, I think we'll probably send out surveys and stuff. Cool. The last thing here, so this is the most important thing, is that we may or may not, so this has been the second test kind of this time slot, 8 a.m. London time. We previously had it at 5 p.m. San Francisco. So the other meeting is at 8 a.m. San Francisco. This one is at 8 a.m. London. But there are some problems with this being this time, namely that Google is not able to attend, which will be less of a problem once we're in the CNCF, because it won't just be Google. But I think if everyone in this meeting agrees, or not even necessarily, that we might undo. So we said it was a temporary change to make it 8 a.m. London. Well, first off, does anyone want to suggest a better time for them in this region?
I think the time is good for European-based people, but I think even Google attending is still important, because still they are part of the community. I wanted to say, the community is like a bunch of people working at companies still. So I'm not sure if moving it to a better time slot so everyone can attend is.
The problem is we're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place because you can only pick 2 time zones that are compatible with a specific slot. And there are 3 significant regions in the world, like Asia, Europe, and America, right? So America, so you can only pick 2 of them at once that aren't, so one of them will always be in the middle of the night. Like 2 a.m., 1 a.m. If you want to be the morning of, so we were, so this is a trial. I think if we roll back in notes a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about the fact that there wasn't enough people attending.
I think 5 p.m. I think 5 p.m. is always works for everybody because 5 p.m. British time, like London time. So because 5 p.m. I have like the EST, like the European people has it's 6 p.m. for Eastern. It's just a second. It's 9 a.m. and for Pacific it will be like for not 9 a.m. for Eastern time will be like 12 p.m. and for the Pacific it will be 9 a.m. So I think like having it 5 London time will be just perfect.
5 p.m. London time. That is the time that the other meeting is at.
Yeah.
No, so that one's.
Oh yeah. Okay, got it. Okay. Yeah. Okay, understand. Yeah.
So
okay.
So we alternate so that we do theoretically cover the entire world. But so previously we picked the US as the region that could access both meetings, but and we were just trying out making it Europe. It hasn't really worked. So I think we'll probably revert this back to 5:30 p.m. Well, I guess what we could do. So like the difference is that previously the time zone it was in was San Francisco. And the problem is that America and Europe have different daylight savings. And so there's a period of time where the times just shift randomly, almost.
Yeah.
In fact, the whole world.
Really, we are done with that. Like it's 9 a.m. here in Germany. So
and that's intended. That was the intended time.
Yeah.
But that was the intended time of this meeting. But the 8 a.m. London, 9 a.m. Europe. But the problem is that so there's a couple of options. One is that we could leave it at this time and then just try and develop a community here. The problem being that everyone that's important isn't turning up anyway, so there's not much point. Like it's very possible for a lot of the people, like a lot of the working group leads are in Europe, so the fact that they're not here is very annoying.
Okay.
Like I can see, like no people aren't showing up.
Just a second. They are not here because today is a holiday here. Like most of the countries have like it's All Saints Day and it's like a holiday, a really public holiday. It's even holiday here in Germany, but I'm attending still. Okay,
that's interesting. I didn't know that. Okay, so maybe we should wait 1 more week before we count this time out.
Yeah.
Because so we've had a couple of weeks where it's been a bit confusing, like the summit week, so we kind of ignored that one. But like because I think that Europe is having morning Europe, morning America is a better time. The only negative is that but yeah, so I think fine, we can wait another 2 weeks and we'll see. It's a bit of work to undo the meeting change anyway. But if you have other people, so the problem is that while it's great that people like yourself are showing up, I really need the working group leads to show up. I mean, I'm one of the leads, but like we need the other ones to show up as well, right? Who aren't in the US. Anyone who's in the US is middle of the night, they can't come. That's fine. Anyway, so I guess that we'll this was public holiday in EU today. We'll try 1 more week before reverting if attendance is bad. Yeah. Okay. So that's fine. And the other stuff can't really be done without the leads anyway. So that is fine. Anyone want to say anything before we stop the recording, and then we can just chat if anyone wants to about how to be a better contributor or learn how to find things. I'm happy to help out if anyone wants it. Okay. I'll give everyone a couple seconds to say anything. Awesome. I'm going to stop the recording. So see you to the recording. Bye.